stay there for just a little bit longer. So think kind of a yin hold is what it'll feel like. So get your stack of pillows and put them just so that you will be able to place your front hip bones or those front pocket areas on the thickest part of your stack. So come down in any way that works good for you, and then hips over the pillow. Take a second to just find that elevation first, and then you're going to soften the front half of your body down. So I like hands stacked so I can rest my forehead, but last night I was exploring that it could also feel good to just let your forehead rest on the floor. So find a placement of your head that feels really comfortable, so your neck doesn't feel strained. I guess that's where I want to say. Make sure your neck does not feel like it's working too hard or straining. And then just give a second, make sure everything feels good. Make sure your butt and your back feel good. Your feet feel like they're happy on the floor. And then once you've found a good, comfortable position, just take a breath and notice. And then we want to start thinking about imagining that your tailbone is this big, heavy dragon tail. So you want to imagine that your tail is so heavy that it's going to drag down towards the floor. So we want to get that sensation of a super heavy tailbone that's anchoring down towards the heels. That's the sensation or idea that we're shooting to find. And once you've got everything else figured out, your body is nice and comfortable, tailbone is nice and heavy, then just see if you can tune into the rhythm of your breath. Notice your inhalation and notice your exhalation. You may hit that moment in your brain where you're thinking, we've been here a really long time. And yeah, we're going to stay here just a little bit longer. So give that amount of time to let your tailbone get heavy, let your breath slow down. The work is in the stillness. So just notice your inhalation, notice your exhalation, and see if you can stay here for just another minute. Before we come away from this place of stillness, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, keep your head heavy, keep your hips heavy on your stack of pillows, but we're just going to invite just a little bit of movement into the right foot. So let your right knee bend, pick up your right foot just a little bit, wiggle the toes, move your right ankle, just any little tiny bit of gentle movement there. And then once you wiggle that right foot, just gently set that right foot down, and we're going to take it to the left foot. Slight bend in the left knee, pick the foot up just enough so that it can move, and then wiggle your toes, wiggle your ankle, any little bit of movement here just to wake up and notice the left foot. Nice. And then relax that left foot down. Take one more breath. And then we'll slowly start to bring ourselves up and away from our stack of pillows. So gently lift your head up, prop yourself up, take your time as you come up, give your body a little bit of time to start to move gently. And then we're going to take our stack of pillows and just move it out of the way, and we won't come back to them again until the end of our practice. So put them off to the side. And then once you've got your pillows off to the side, out of the way, come into a tabletop position or come into all fours. And then once you come into all fours, just take a second, notice your knees, notice your wrists. And if you like to cushion your knees or your wrists, take a second to do that. And then once you've found yourself in a comfortable position in your tabletop, move into a cat and cow. Inhale as you drop your belly. Exhale as you round your back. And then just find a depth of work here that works good for your body. And find a rhythm of breath that matches your breath's rhythm. So move your body to match your breath's rhythm. Take one more cycle of breath with that cat and cow. And then the next time you come to that cow, as the belly drops, move right into barrel rolls or scrape the peanut butter jar. Circle your ribs around, just go around in one direction. Beautiful. And then circle your ribs around, go the other way. Nice. One more circle around, and then when you're ready, neutral spine, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come right back to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Let your belly, your chest, your forehead melt down, but now a little bit of energy or a little action in the arms. So a little reach through the arms, extending down into the fingertips. So you get that nice wide spread of your hands on the ground, a nice spread of your fingers. Notice the texture of your mat underneath your hands and just take a breath there. Take one more breath. And then we're going to walk it off to the side. So when you're ready, walk over to the left or to the right, whichever side you like best, but walk off just a little bit so you get a little bit of a side bend action. Reach through the arms, let your chest drop down, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, walk through center, over and off to the other side. A little bit of reach so we get that side body stretch, and then a little reach through the arms. Soften your head down. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, walk back through center. We're going to come back up into our tabletop position. So lift your butt up, walk your knees in if your knees were wide. And then once you found your way back up to that tabletop position, we're going to start with alternating hand touches. So we're going to take the right hand, touch the back of your head, release it down, switch over to the other side. We're just going to move at a slightly rapid pace here, just so we can find a little bit of movement in the shoulder, but keep the head as stable as you can. So start by looking down at that space between your thumbs and hold that nice steady position with your head as your hands just alternate. One hand touches the back of the head and then the other. And as you do this work here, just kind of tune in and notice, how do your shoulders feel? How does your back feel to hold that more sturdy position? How does your head and your neck feel to hold that more sturdy position? One more time through, and then the next time your right hand touches the back of the head, we're going to stay there, but now we're going to soften up just a little bit. So right hand's going to touch the back of the head, and now we're going to let the whole torso move. You're going to draw giant circles, but you're going to let the ribs move, let the shoulder move, let the elbow move, and let your head move. Circle in one direction. You might feel your hips move, and you may feel a little bit of shimmy of your knees on the floor. Take one more big circle around, and then reverse directions and go the other way. Nice. One more big circle around, and then we're just going to take it into like flaps of the wings. So elbow to the elbow pit, rotate the torso, and then lift that right elbow up nice and high. Elbow to elbow pit, and then lift that elbow up nice and high. Beautiful. One more time, just like that. Elbow to elbow pit, lift the elbow up nice and high, and then we're going to release that hand, find your tabletop, switch to the other side. Left hand's going to touch. Nice. And then we're going to take it in big giant circles. Let the head move, let the shoulder move, let the ribs move, let your hips move, let everything move with you. Nice, big, generous circles, leading with the elbow. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, reverse directions, go the other way. Nice. One more circle around, and then like that flap of the wing, elbow to elbow pit, and then lift the elbow up nice and high. Elbow to elbow pit, lift it up nice and high. One more time, elbow to elbow pit, lift it up nice and high, and then release your hand, and we're going to move right into puppy pose. So keep your hips in line with your knees, walk your hands towards the front edge of your mat, let your chest and your forehead melt down, and take 3 nice big breaths here. Nice and slow and steady. We're going to lift our torso up just a little bit so that we can slide the elbows in, propping ourselves up on elbows and forearms, moving towards a Sphinx position. So start to step your feet back to the end of your mat. You might like to pause in your low plank position just to find that nice strength in your center. And then when you feel ready, release your knees to the ground, release your toes, come right into your Sphinx pose, elbows in line with the shoulders, hands in that nice parallel position. Imagine that you're pulling your elbows back towards your ribs. Heart comes forward. Press up through the crown of your head. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Beautiful. And then soften just a little bit. Walk your elbows nice and wide. Take a second to come on down. And then we're going to do that nervous system reset. So step your feet just a little bit wider. So maybe your legs or your feet are reaching towards the corners of your mat. Hands wherever you like the best. I like my hands stacked so my forehead can rest. And we're just going to start to shake the butt. So just wag your butt a little side to side. Let your hips move. Let your thighs move. Let your knees move. Make sure that your knees are comfortable on the ground. You're going to let your shoulders move a little bit. Head is going to rest comfortably. I lift my head up so I can talk out to the screen and it catches my voice in the microphone. But you make sure that you put your body in the most comfortable way that you can, and then give it about 3 more cycles of breath here. Beautiful. And then once you've completed that last cycle of breath, let everything come to stillness. Relax your bum, relax your back. Take a nice deep breath in. Awesome. And now from here, we're going to slide legs in just a little bit closer so the feet are about hip width distance apart. We're going to stretch the arms out in front of us like we're going in for a Superman or going for a swim. We're going to go left hand, right leg, and we're going to lift. So as you inhale, lift your left hand, lift your right leg, and a little bit of your torso. And then as you exhale with control, release it back down, switch over to the other side. Inhale, lift the right hand, left leg. Exhale and gently release it back down. Switch over to the other side. Left hand, right leg. Inhale as you lift. Exhale to lower down. Right hand, left leg. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower down. Nice. We're going to go one more time through each side. So inhale, lifting up. Lower with control. Inhale as you lift up. Lower with control. Nice. And now we're going to slide the hands in just a little bit. Relax your butt. If you picked up any tension in your back, take a second to shake that out. Now we're going to go right into intense shoulder stretch. So we're going to reach the right hand straight out from the shoulder, press into the left hand. So you roll slightly onto that right shoulder. See how that feels. If that feels good and you want that little bit more, you're going to roll over onto the hip. Step your left foot behind you. Take one breath here. Nice. And then when you're ready, gently roll onto your belly. Take your time. Slide your right hand in, slide your left hand out, push into the right hand, find the shoulder first, see how that feels. And then if it feels good, roll over onto the hip and take a breath there. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly roll back onto your belly, slide your hands in. We're going to push our way up to a tabletop position. Once you've got your way up to tabletop position, we're going to move into the bottom half of the body and work into the glutes just a little bit. So we're going to start by just picking the right leg up and out to the side like you're taking a little fire hydrant. Lower it back down with control, but let the knee hover. Pick the leg up and out to the side. Lower it with control, but let the knee hover. One more time, just like that. Pick the leg up and out to the side. lower the knee, let it hover, but now take that leg and draw big giant circles. Circle as far and as wide as you can without losing your strength in the upper part of the body. So big giant circles with the leg, but the upper body stays as stationary as it can. One more time around, and then we're going to reverse directions, take those circles and draw them the other way. Beautiful. One more circle around, and then when you're ready, release that leg down with control over to the other side. Fire hydrants to start. Lift the left leg out to the side. As you lower it down, let the knee hover. Lift the leg out to the side. Lower and let the knee hover. Lift the leg out to the side. Lower, let the knee hover, and now take that leg and draw it in big, generous circles, circling in one direction, keeping the upper body as stable as you can. Nice. And then take that knee and draw it in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. One more big circle around, and then we're going for child's pose with the legs together. So big toes together, knees together. Draw your butt back towards your heels. If you like, slide your hands back and let your hands touch the soles of your feet. Make as much space for your belly and your chest as you need. And then take a second to just soften through the back of your body, and then see if you can tune in and notice the movement of breath in the back, in the rib cage, and maybe even in the low back. Take one more breath. We're going to sit back onto our heels. So we're going to keep our legs as they are. Pull your abdominal muscles in just a little bit so you come up nice and strong. As you come up to that seated position, just make sure your knees are feeling cool about this. If you need to readjust, readjust, and then take it into a light little twist. So we're going to rotate to the right, just turning as much as feels good to your spine. Look over your back shoulder if it feels good to do so. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, rotate the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, come back to center, lift yourself up to tabletop position. If your knees are super close, walk them out just a little bit so that they're about hip width distance apart. We're going to curl both sets of toes under. Just take a gentle pull of your butt back towards your heels. Just kind of tune in and notice your toes, notice your feet. Take a breath there. And then as you feel into your toes and the bottoms of the feet, we're going to imagine that you're using the pads of your toes, the bottoms of your toes, to try to push your butt off of your heels. So push into your toes. You're not going to get any actual real lift, but just push into the bottoms of your toes like you're trying to push your butt away from your heels, and then relax your toes a little bit. Push into the pads of your toes and then release. Push into the pads of your toes and then release. Nice. And then keep that more relaxed position. Lift back up into your tabletop, but keep your toes curled under. Exhale and lift up into downward facing dog and take a few pedals to the legs. Bend one knee and press into the opposite heel. Lovely. Take one more pedal of each leg, and then when you're ready, we're going to look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft ragdoll fold at the top of your mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, super generous bend in the knees. Let your belly and chest rest on your thighs. Let your hands dangle or grab your elbows. That one, whatever feels the best to you right now. And then just allow a little time for your spine to just relax down towards the ground. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, if you're holding onto your elbows, release your fingers, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, draw your way up nice and slow and controlled. Take your time as you come up to that standing position. And then once you come up to standing, just give yourself a second. Get your clothes situated, get your hair situated, and give your blood pressure a second so that if you come up and you have a tendency towards the dizziness as you come up, take your time, find your equilibrium. And then once you're there, we're going to take it into a nice little bounce. So with feet about hip or shoulder distance apart, just start to bounce your heels. Find a little bit of bounce that comes all the way up into the body. Make sure your feet feel sturdy on the ground, but allow that lightness of the heels. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to add a little twist. So as you bounce, you're going to rotate just a little bit. Keep your eyes steady. So you might choose to pick a point on the floor or a point in front of you where your eyes can hold that focused gaze so you can bounce and you can twist without losing your equilibrium. Take one more little bounce and twist to each side. And then as you come back to center, let everything come to stillness. Find your mountain pose, root down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head, gazes forward. Take a breath here and just notice the strength in your body as you breathe in. And notice the softness of your body as you breathe out. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more time here. Inhale, arms up, look up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your side. Keep a little bit of energy down into your hands and your fingertips. Transfer your weight over onto your left foot. We're just going to pick the right foot up and let the foot hover. So it's not going to be a big giant bend and then you pick it up, but just a centimeter underneath your foot, just to let it hover. Notice your left leg, notice your standing leg, notice your balance. Take a moment and then set your right foot down, transfer your weight onto your right foot, pick your left foot up just to a hover so that the foot is maybe a centimeter off the ground. Notice what's going on in your right foot. Awesome. And then set both feet down, reset your mountain pose, root down into your feet, press up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Walk your hands up to your thighs. We're going to push into the tops of the thighs. Create more length in your spine, like you're using your thighs for a little bit of leverage. And then keep that length that you found. Bend your knees a little bit, push into your feet, and just rise up to your standing position. Let your hands relax down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Step your hands up to the thighs, push into the thighs, create that length in your spine. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet, rise up, and just let your hands fall out at your sides. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Hands step up to the thighs, push into the thighs, find that extra length in your spine. Once you found that length in your spine, keep that, bend your knees, push into your feet, rise up, let your hands fall right out at your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Let the hands meet, chest lift just gently as you look up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to step both feet back to downward facing dog. Take 3 cycles of breath here. Beautiful. Once you've completed that last cycle of breath, we're going to pick up the heels, bend the knees, float your way down into tabletop position, moving right into a gate posture. Step the right leg out to the side. Bring your hands to your hips to come to that tall kneel position. Right hand to that thigh, left hand reaches up. Take a nice gentle side bend. Doesn't need to be even your full range of motion. Just lean out just enough so you feel a little sensation in the left side. And then lift your way up. Float your hands down, find your tabletop position, slide that right leg in, switch right over to the other side. Left leg steps out. Hands to the hips, come up to that high kneel. Beautiful. Left hand down, right hand reaches up. Lean over just a little bit, just enough so you feel a little gentle stress or sensation in that right side body. Hang out there for a second. Nice. And then lift up with control. Float your hands down. Slide that left leg in. Curl both toes under. Pull your butt back to your heels. Hang out here. Take 3 cycles of breath, stretching the toes and the bottoms of the feet. Beautiful. When you're ready, lift back up to tabletop, release your toes. And now we're just going to kick the right leg out straight from the hip. You're going to take that right knee, and all you're going to do is tuck it behind your left knee. Once you've got it tucked, we're going to pick it up and release it right away. Set it down into your tabletop position, switch over to the other side. Pick up your left leg straight out from the hip. Take that left knee just a little crisscross behind the right knee. Once you feel the back of that right knee, lift it up, release it, set it back down to tabletop. Pick up your right leg. Bring it over and across, just gently tuck it behind that left knee. Once you feel that back of that left knee, pick it up, release it, switch back over to the other side. Left leg picks up, take that left knee, tuck it behind the right. Beautiful. Pick it up, release it one more time through. Pick up the right leg, tuck it behind the left. Release, come back through tabletop. One more time, pick up that left leg, tuck it behind the right. Beautiful. Pick it up, find your tabletop, curl both sets of toes under, exhale up to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high into three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open, take one big breath. Beautiful. And then release that leg, switch over to the other side. Left leg is going to pick up nice and high. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open, take one big breath. Awesome. And then release that foot with control. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. So nice, big, giant bend in the knees. Let your spine dangle here. Take 3 nice big breaths. Before we come up and out of this fold, right now we're in this ragdoll position, right? There's this super generous bend in the knees. Now we're going to think about finding a little action in the backs of the legs. So imagine where your sitting bones are. We want to imagine that we're lifting our sitting bones upward towards the ceiling, but the head is going to stay relaxed down. So once you know what you're doing, if you looked up at your screen, then let your head drop down again. Keep that action of the sitting bones lifting up towards the ceiling, but now we're going to take some lifts of the toes, just your toes. So we're going to stay in this folded position, lift your toes and spread your toes as wide as you can, and then relax your toes back down to the ground. Once you know what you're doing, if you lifted your head again, let your head relax. Inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes. Exhale, relax your toes back down. Beautiful. Inhale, lift your toes and spread your toes. Exhale, relax your toes, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in slow as you can. Roll your way up to standing. Take your time. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back, and find your mountain pose here. Nice and strong. Anchor down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. When you're ready, inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up, a gentle back bend, and then as you exhale, fold your way down to the ground. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you. What feels better in your body? Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior 2. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, right hand is going to pick you up. Beautiful. And then from this position, we're going to take it into our side angle. So that front elbow is going to float down towards that front knee. We're going to keep those bottom ribs drawing away from the thigh. Top hand's going to reach up alongside the ear, and then we're going to roll the pinky finger down like we're trying to reach the pinky finger down towards the ground. Look down at the floor, take one big breath. Use the strength in your legs, the strength in your side body, and we're going to lift up into that big peaceful warrior. So take your time, lift your way up with control. Right hand's going to touch the backside, left hand's going to reach up, look to the sky. Nice, and then come back through your warrior 2 position. Straighten that front leg. Both toes are going to turn out to the right side of the mat, and then you'll readjust your feet just a little bit so you can come into your goddess squat. I like to pivot my heels in so my toes are slightly externally rotated. Sink into your squat, bend your knees, nice and strong. Imagine you're pulling your elbows back, but now we're going to give ourselves that nice big high five. So we're going to imagine somebody pressing into your palms. So your palms are drawing back, but everything else stays strong. Ribs are still drawing in towards each other. Inner thighs are nice and strong. Palms are pressing back. Take one big breath. Beautiful. And then lift up and out. We're going to bend that front knee, pivot that back heel so you float through that warrior 2, but then just circle your hands down to the ground. Nice. Find your runner's lunge. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower your chest, lower your chin, scoop through to your cobra position. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Walk your hands up to your thighs, push into your thighs, create that length. Keep that length, bend your knees, push into your feet, rise up and let your hands fall at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up, hands meet chest, lifts a gentle back bend. Exhale as you fold down. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two to the other side. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Left hand is going to pick you up. Nice, and then take it into your side angle. Right elbow towards that front knee, but the ribs stay lifted away from the thigh, so we stay engaged in the side body. Left hand reaches up alongside the ear, and then maybe you roll the pinky finger towards the floor. Turn your head so you're looking down at the ground. Take a breath. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift yourself up into peaceful warrior. Drop that back hand, reach the front hand up. Nice, and then lift back up into your warrior two. Straighten that front leg. Both toes are going to point out to the side. Now we're going to take it into a wide leg forward fold. So keep your legs just as they are. Hinge from your waist. Fold down to the ground. Once you found your way down, take a couple of side lunges. Bend one knee and then the other. Beautiful. One more side lunge each side. And then as you come to center, we're going to take it into a twist. Right hand's going to plant down on the ground. Left hand's going to reach up to the sky. Release that hand down, switch to the other side. Left hand underneath your nose, right hand reaches up to the sky. Nice. Release that hand down. In this folded position, pivot your heels. So heels turned in, toes turned out. Bend your knee, roll up through five-pointed star, and then sink back into that goddess squat. So reach your arms up, find that nice, big, energetic lift and reach. And then when you feel ready, sink into that goddess squat. Palms pressing backwards like somebody's giving you a high five, but the ribs are drawing in towards each other so the center stays nice and strong. Nice. And then when you're ready, rise up, release your arms, pivot that front foot, bend that front knee so you float through your warrior two, and then circle your hands around and down, come into your runner's lunge. Lovely. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Go knees, chest, chin. Bring your knees down, chest down, chin down. Scoop forward into your cobra. And then exhale up to table to down dog, or just up to your down dog, whatever gets you there more comfortably. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Step your hands up to your thighs, push into your thighs, create that little bit of traction. Keep that length, bend your knees, push into your feet, rise up and let your hands fall at your sides. Transfer your weight onto your left foot, pick your right knee up, and then we're just going to bring it across like you're crossing your legs in a chair. So bring your leg all the way across, and then like you're sitting in a little seat, just sit your way down just enough that you feel good and controlled. Then rise up, step that foot off, and we're going to switch over to the other side. Pick up your left foot like you're crossing your legs in a chair, sit into your chair, and then with control, rise back up, uncross your legs, both feet on the ground. And now we're going to take 3 heel lifts here. Inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor. Exhale, with control, float your heels down. Inhale, lift your heels up just as high as you can control. Exhale and float them down. Do that one more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. And now we're going to take our arms up and overhead, and we're going to make that funky grip. So we're going to wrap the hands around just so that you can grab hold. So it's going to be an up and overhead reach, but with that funky grip. So wrap your hands around, and once you found it, take some circles of the rib cage, but try to keep your legs and your hips as stable as they can be. Take one more circle around in this direction. And then when you're ready, take those rib circles and go the other way. Nice. One more circle around. And then as you come back to center, release your funky grip, grab that beach ball above your head, exhale, sink into a chair. Nice and strong here. We're just going to stay for 3 cycles of breath. So find your strength. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly and gently rise up. Let your hands fall out at your sides. Pause in your mountain pose. Gaze forward, feet strong on the floor. Energy reaching up through the crown of your head as it roots down into the earth. So see if you can find that idea of rooting down into the ground, but lifting upward towards the sky. Nice. And then when you're ready, inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, just whatever feels better in your body. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step the right leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Beautiful. And now we're going to go to side angle or extended side angle. So if you like elbow to knee, that's where you're going to go. Or if you like that hand all the way to the ground, that's where you're going to go. So you're going to find the depth of work in that first position that feels best to you. Maybe elbow to the knee with the hand extended up, or maybe you slip that elbow off and extend the arm up. Once you've found your position you like, take a breath. Notice the strength in your legs. Strong legs, strong body, lift up into that peaceful warrior, lift up with control, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Float through your warrior two, straighten that front leg. Both toes are going to turn out to the side, hinge from the waist, forward fold into that wide leg forward fold. Once your hands have touched the ground, take it into some side lunges, bending one knee and then the other. Beautiful. One more little lunge side to side. And then as you come back to center, you're going to toe heel your feet out maybe 2 steps wider than you usually are. And then once you found your way there, if you can, elbows and forearms are going to come down to the ground. If that's a little extreme for you, you're going to come just to the depth that feels good. So as far deep into the fold as you can find in your body. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, slowly lift yourself out of that depth. If you toe heeled your feet out, toe heel them back in just a little bit. And then bend your knees a lot. We're going to roll up into 5-pointed star. So pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up. If you like to pivot your heels or pivot your feet, take a second to do it. And then sink into your goddess squat. Give yourself that high five, palms pull back. Nice. And then lift up right into your warrior two. Transfer that front foot, bend that front knee. Beautiful. Now we're going to spin those hands down to the ground. Pivot your back heel so you come through runner's lunge. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Bring your knees down, chest down, chin down. Scoop forward into your cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Take one big breath. And then we're going to step that right foot up to the top of the mat. So step it through, finding runner's lunge to the other side. Pause there for a moment. Look forward, take your breath. Beautiful. And then step that left foot up to meet into forward fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Step your hands up to the thighs, push into the thighs, create that traction. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet, rise up, let your hands fall at your sides. Inhale, arms up, hands meet chest, lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, left hand picks you up. Into your version of side angle. So maybe it's the elbow to the knee, or maybe you slip that elbow off, fingers find the floor. So find the depth of work here that feels good. Once you found it, take a breath. With control, strong legs, strong side body, lift up into your peaceful warrior. Drop that back hand, reach the front hand up. Back into your warrior two, arms extend out from the shoulders, straighten that front leg, turn the right toes out, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Take a couple of side lunges here. Lovely. And now this time we're going to go as wide as your legs will allow. So toe heel your feet to a width that feels sustainable, that you could take 3 breaths in. So how wide can you get your legs to go without injuring yourself? And then once you found your way there, if you can come down elbows and forearms, awesome, or stay at whatever height feels the most appropriate to your body. Once you're there, take 3 cycles of breath. Lovely. When you're ready, start by bringing your torso up. toe heel your feet to a nice comfortable distance. We're going to roll our way up to that 5-pointed star. So if you like to adjust your feet, pivot your toes out, heels in, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up, extend those arms up and out into that 5-pointed star, and then sink it into your goddess squat. Bend your knees, sink down into that squat, give yourself that high five. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up, pivot those front toes, bend that front knee, float through your warrior two, circle your hands around and down, pivot that back heel. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Bring the knees down, chest down. Scoop forward into your cobra. Exhale up to down dog or through table to down dog, whatever feels better in your body. Left leg is going to come up nice and high. Bend that knee, let the hip roll open, take a breath. And then step that foot through to the top of your mat. Find your runner's lunge. Heart forward, look forward, take a breath. And then when you're ready, step that back foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine, hands to the thighs, push into the thighs. Bend your knees, rise up nice and tall. Let your hands come out at your sides. We're going to come back to that little check-in of balance. So transfer your weight onto your left foot. Just pick your right foot up. See where your balance feels like it's at right now at this moment. Set that foot down, switch over to the other foot, pick it up. Just see where your balance is at. One side might be real wobbly and one side might feel solid. So we're going to go into our eagle position. So if you like to position yourself so that you have a wall nearby, something to help secure you in your balance, take a second to find your way there. But then when you're ready, one leg up, we're going to cross our legs like we're crossing them in a chair. The leg that's on top, that's the hand that's going to be on the bottom. Wrap your eagle arms, wrap your eagle legs. You can tuck the toe behind the calf if you have that flexibility, but don't worry if you don't. Sink into your seat just a little bit and then find a nice inner connection to that midline of the body. So we want to get a little bit of a tight squeeze on those arms, a little bit of a tight squeeze on those legs. So we're squeezing, finding balance, nice and steady. And if you want your hands free, so you were like, how can I do my eagle pose? Position yourself just so that a hip can rest against the wall. And that might just be enough so that you can imagine that it's supporting you, that you don't even necessarily need that support. So find your level of work. Once you're there, focus your gaze, take a breath. Beautiful. And then with control, when you're ready, lift up and out, unwind your legs. Woo, give that little Elvis asana, shake it all out. But of course, we have to do it to the other side. So start by finding the crisscross of your legs. Maybe you tuck the toes and maybe just keep them crossed. The leg that's on top, that's the hand that's going to wrap around the bottom. Find your arms and then sink into the depth that works good for you. A little squeeze at that midline, so a little bit of connection at the inner thighs, a little connection at the elbows. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, rise up, unwind your legs, unwind your arms, shake all that stuff out. And then if you moved away from the top of your mat, just take a second to find your way back to the front end of your mat and find your mountain pose. Root down into your feet, press up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to roll down into that little ball of yarn. So bend your knees, pick up your heels, tuck your chin in, take one breath here. Nice. And then when you're ready, sit back onto your butt. We're going to curl the tailbone under, roll your way down, but we're not going to stay on the ground to start. So roll your way down. Take your time as you come down. Once you've come down, you're going to reach the arms up and overhead. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach the arms up, curl up the head, neck, and chest, roll all the way up, a little bit of reach through the arms, a little reach through the chest, and then release back down. Curl the tailbone under, roll your way down, feel your spine connect with the floor, arms reach up and overhead. Take an inhale. As you exhale, arms reach up, curl up the head, neck, and chest, roll all the way up, a little bit of reach as you lift through the torso. Beautiful. Roll all the way down. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. Exhale, arms reach up towards the ceiling, curl up the head, neck, and chest, come all the way up. And now we're going to take it into a little balanced boat. So lean back into your butt, lift your legs up, find a little bit of balance here. If it helps, grab the backs of the thighs, find that lifted chest. But if you feel good without the handhold, arms reach up, legs lift up. See about pushing out through the right leg, straightening it just as much as you can. And then bring that foot back in with control. Switch over to the other side. Extend that other leg out nice and long. Bring it back in with control, and then see if you can go both legs. Push both heels out. Beautiful. Bring it back in with control. Set your feet down, curl your tailbone under, roll all the way back down to the ground. Once you come down to the ground, pull your right knee into your chest. Let your left leg go nice and long. One more breath. And now we're going to take this into supine twist. So take that right knee over and across the body, right arm opens out nice and wide. Just go with as much rotation as feels good to your body. And then once you found your way there, take 3 nice deep breaths. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull your right knee into your chest. Bring the left knee into meet, one little hug and squeeze, and then hold on to your left leg, let the right leg go nice and long. Awesome. When you're ready, take that left knee over and across the body, open up into your supine twist on the other side. Nice. And then when you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into me, a nice light little squeeze, and then we're going to move right into a figure 4 from here. So set your left foot down, bring your right leg across the left. Find that figure 4, but we're not going to stay in our figure 4 for too long. So once you've got your legs set up, if it feels good, you're going to lift the left leg up, thread the hands through, grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, just whatever handhold works good for you. Gently draw it in just to the point where you feel a good sensation. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then right away, release. Let your feet go. Step the right foot off. Step the left foot across the right. That might be enough. You might choose to stay there, but if it feels good, lift the right leg up, thread your hands through, get the handhold that works good for you, but we're only staying for 1 cycle of breath. So draw it in just to your comfort level. Take your breath. Beautiful. And then release. Set your foot down, and now we're going to use our stack of pillows again. So if you put your stack of pillows way off and out of your reach, go ahead and take a second to grab them. We're going to take it into a supported bridge. So we're going to take our stack of pillows. You're going to kind of kick your legs up and over that stack of pillows. And then as you lift your butt up, you're just going to scooch that stack of pillows underneath your hips best you can. It takes a second sometimes to get there, to get those pillows to comply. But once you've got that stack of pillows underneath your hips, you're just going to settle your butt down, make sure everything feels good. It should feel supportive. You should feel like you can relax your front pocket area. You can let go of any efforting in the tops of the thighs. So get your stack of pillows so it's really nice and supportive underneath those broad hip bones. Once you found your way there, arms are just going to open out as wide as you feel good about, and then just hang out here. Let go. Let go of your abdominal muscles. Let go of the muscles in that front pocket area. Let go of the muscles in the tops of the thighs. We're going to stay here just a little bit longer. So for a moment here, just try to resist that urge to like rush off to the next thing. And then if you can clear your mind of that idea that you want to rush off to the next thing, then just let your focus come down to your feet. Notice your toes. And if you have a tendency to kind of grip your toes or grip your feet, see if you can give your toes and the bottoms of your feet just a little wiggle so that they can find a softer place to land. And then let the softness of your feet settle down into the ground. Let the softness of your feet draw a little softness up into the shins and the calves and let them get a little heavier. And then let that softness of your feet find your thighs. And then see if you can almost imagine that the backs of your thighs become like butter and they're just melting down into the ground. And then see if you can imagine that where you let the hamstrings, the backs of your thighs become like butter. Now, can you let that buttery melting idea come all the way through the back of your body, up into the backs of your shoulders, and just let your shoulders get soft and melted into the ground? Take 3 more cycles of breath here. Nice. And now before we move away from our stack of pillows, start by just wiggling your fingers, wiggle your toes just a little bit. And then we're going to do a little light windshield wiper action. So for my foam roller friends, you guys know this, this movement, a little windshield wiper action so that we can find a little bit of stretch right through that front pocket area or a little bit of movement through that front pocket area. So if it helps you find it as you gently swish your knees a little side to side, if you like to just tune in and feel that movement happening, place your hands like you're putting them into your front pockets. And then just kind of, as you swish your knees a little side to side, feel that muscle movement that's happening there. Awesome. One more little swish of the knees side to side. And then if you can, now you might be super happy here. This might be the place for you and you just might want to stay here and relax. But if this feels good and you want a little bit more stress to that front pocket area, especially if you sit in a chair a lot or you drive a lot, step your feet nice and long so they're reaching energetically towards the end of your mat. A little flex in the feet so we keep the feet and the legs slightly active. Once you've got your legs anchored down towards the end of your mat, stretch your arms up and overhead and just take that big giant reach. Reach through your fingers, reach through your heels, a little stretch or stress through that front pocket area. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then slowly bring yourself out with control. Start by releasing your arms, step your feet in nice and slow, lift your hips up away from your stack of pillows, move them out of the way. Have them slightly nearby if you think you might like to use them for your Shavasana, but otherwise just get them cleared out of your space. And then once you're got your legs back down on the ground and your back is down on the ground, just pause for a moment and notice. Notice the front pocket area, notice your back, notice your thighs, take a breath. Awesome. Now we're going to go right leg, left hand. So right leg, left hand are going to stretch up towards the ceiling and you're just going to give it a shake. Right leg is going to shake, left hand is going to shake. Left leg is anchored on the ground and the right hand is anchored on the ground. Awesome. One more big shake here. And then when you're ready, with control, gently release your left hand, release your right foot, and we're going to switch to the other side. Left leg, right hand are going to extend upward towards the ceiling and then start to give it a shake. Shake as much as feels good to you. If shaking doesn't tend to feel good to you, you can always leave that part off, and just having the limbs lifted does a lot of lymphatic work all on its own. But the shaking to me feels good, so I add it in. But if you don't like the shaking, you always have the option to leave that part off. Lovely. Take one more shake of those limbs and then slowly and gently release everything down. We're going to toe heel the feet out just a little bit so we have a little bit of space. And now take it into some big, giant, generous windshield wipers, dropping the knees side to side with as much movement as feels good in your body. As you start to swish those knees side to side, just kind of tune in and ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? My suggested Shavasana, if you're going to use your pillows, will be to either take your stack of pillows long ways towards the end of your mat so that you can kick your legs up and over in a nice, slightly elevated position. But if you like a reclined cobbler's pose and you really love that work in your hips, for today, if you typically go there, bring the soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right, but you're going to take your stack of pillows and tuck it nice and tight up against your hips and the outsides of your thighs. So it'll bring you into a more supported variation of that reclined cobbler's pose. So if this is the place you like to go, just for today, since you've got those pillows nearby, tuck them under your thighs, or stack your pillows and let your feet rest. So find the variation of your body that would feel really nice to you. You also have an option to use one under your knees and one under your head, or any other position of the body that feels restful to you. So give yourself a second to find your way there. And then once you feel like you've got some things figured out, just work out all those little wiggles, make sure your tailbone feels good, shoulders feel good, your hair feels good. And then maybe you close your eyes down, or maybe you just soften your gaze. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. If you feel ready to do so, or if your day requires it, maybe you start to gently reawaken. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, maybe invite a little bit of movement into your head, turn your head a little side to side. And then maybe as you start to reawaken, you take it into a big good morning stretch, stretching your arms up and overhead, walking your legs nice and long, and then just inviting a little bit of length and breath back into your body. Nice. And then in your own way and at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. You can use your pillows as a little seat if you like to sit on a cushion, or any other comfortable way to sit that feels right in your body. Awesome. And then once you found your way up to that nice comfortable seated position, we're going to do a nice open palm situation, and we're going to big pats on the chest. So you're going to pat around and get a little sound going on, a little bit of vibration going on. And then once you've got that patting going on, if it feels good, you're going to add in a humming exhale, which you can hear all the vibration in my voice. So as you pat, nice vigorous pat, take a nice big inhale. And then as you exhale, let out a nice low hum. Big breath in when you're ready. Exhale, keep patting and let out a nice low hum. Nice. One more cycle of breath. Big inhale when you're ready. Keep those pats going if you like. And then as you exhale, nice low hum. And then once you've completed that last hum, let your hands come to stillness. Just stack them on top of your heart. Bow your head to your heart, and just for a moment here, notice the little residual effect from that nice patting on your chest. Notice your breath. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. Take another nice big inhale. Allow the shoulders to lift, maybe even scrunch up your face just a little bit. And then as you exhale, soften your shoulders, soften your face, and think about letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Tuesday. You guys are amazing.